So, a while ago, Ezra Miller said sorry, going to work on my health, and I apologize to everybody. That's it. All is forgiven. All is well. Everyone's going to let it go. Ezra Miller can now return everything back to normal. Just did reshoots for the new Flash movie that's coming out next year, Flashpoint. And that's it, right? Everyone's just going to forgive and forget. Well, not so much. I guess today, Miller had to appear in court because all of the crazy stuff that happened over the past year is now coming back. Ezra Miller pleads not guilty to 2 counts of felony burglary. The embattled star of The Flash faces up to 26 years in prison and $2,000 in fines if convicted. Now, will Ezra get 26 years in prison? No. But a year in prison, that's not far-fetched. It's all going to depend on how the pre-trial goes. So what's going to happen is Ezra Miller and whoever the lawyers are defending this case will meet with prosecutors, and they'll sit down and see if they can work out some kind of deal so they don't even go to court. I would imagine, I don't know what Ezra's rap sheet looks like. I don't think that he's ever been in trouble before. I don't know. Or at least, let's put it this way, caught before. I think Miller's done a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's come out about Ezra Miller over the past year. But I'm going to imagine some kind of probation. I bet you the felonies will get erased and they'll become misdemeanors. And a lengthy probation. That's what I'm going to guess is going to happen here. Because I would imagine the media is going to switch and start supporting him soon. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot that can happen here, but I guess this just happened today. This is breaking news. I'm just now seeing this. So at 6:58 a.m. apparently is when this broke. But here are the notes. Ezra Miller has pled not guilty to the felony burglary charges out of Stamford, Vermont. The embattled star of The Flash is charged with a felony count of burglary into an occupied dwelling and a minor charge of petty larceny after video surveillance allegedly saw him entering the plaintiff's home on May 1st, 2022. Miller, 29, faces up to 26 years in prison and $2,000 in fines if found guilty. So 26 maximum charge. If, let's say, Ezra was breaking in houses all the time and had multiple convictions, yeah, you get up to 26 years. But that's probably not going to happen. That's like the extreme. I don't know what the minimum is, but there's, especially if you've got high-priced lawyers that can really wheel and deal this, I would imagine Miller's going to get a slap on the wrist. Now, if it were you, person listening to this video, it would probably be a little bit different. But such is the life of Americans. Actually, worldwide. Privileged people like Ezra, they get off all the time, and we don't get those kind of luxuries. And this includes me. It would be a different situation if it were me as well. Deadline has a lot of details here. Apparently, Ezra Miller was upbeat, dressed casually, and was in a chippy mood this morning. The casually dressed actor will have to return to court per Superior Court Judge Carrie A. McDonald Caddy, virtually or in person, at a yet-to-be-determined future date for more proceedings in this matter. Obviously, they note here, Warner Brothers highly invested in this because they want that Flashpoint movie to succeed. They want to make as much money as possible. Now, I don't know what the box office for Flashpoint looks like. We're a long ways away from that. Whether or not this will all harm the movie or not, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that movie plays out when it's released because I mean, Miller is overshadowed, and it's overshadowed with Miller's controversies. And there's been a lot of them. I guess the real question is, will more come out? Because there was a time there when, like, every day somebody was coming out and saying something about Ezra Miller. But the Hollywood actor was told that can't have any contact with the victims of his crimes by either phone or in person, email, text, posting on social media, and can't abuse or harass them as well, the judge ordered. Miller's attorney said we agreed to those conditions. And the judge asked him, do you understand this? Miller said to the judge, I do understand. The article also points out that there's a lot of evidence against him. There's video, which is the most damning. But this was the weirdest thing. So if you don't know what happened, when Miller was having a meltdown and got arrested for going, there was an incident at a bar where he was going crazy on people in the bar. And then shortly after, there was another incident. I forget if it was, I don't think it was on the same night. It was a different, because he got arrested that night at the bar. This time was something different. Broke into somebody's home in Vermont. Yeah, because this was in Vermont, and the other charge in the bar, I believe, was in Hawaii. So this was in Vermont. I'm guessing Miller was drunk or something. I don't know, but for some reason, he thought it would be a good idea to break into someone's home and steal multiple bottles of liquor. Miller has millions of dollars. Imagine going in and stealing liquor. Like, what is wrong with you? But that was misdemeanor. That was petty larceny over a trio of stolen booze bottles. The felony was going into the house. Miller with the offense of felony burglary into an unoccupied dwelling. I mean, they were in the house that wasn't theirs to look for ingredients for a recipe for their mother. The actor was also hit with a misdemeanor charge of petty larceny over a trio of stolen booze bottles. So, I don't know what's going on here with Miller. There's a lot of stuff over this guy's shoulders right now. I truly hope Miller does get help and figures out whatever is going on and turns his life around. But, you know, you still did a lot of stuff, and this is what happened. So we'll see. I'm interested in seeing what happens to this person, because these are not just charges you can say you can just brush away. These are real things, and there's real victims. I don't want someone breaking into my house and stealing my shit. You know, and I would imagine most of you wouldn't like that either, unless you live in New York, where there are literally signs that say, if you don't like mugging, maybe you're the problem. Anyway, a little update, too, on what's going on with Cartoon Network. Warner has come out and expressly said that we are not shutting Cartoon Network down. Then there was also this little tidbit. The Rock doing a lot of press and came out and basically said the previous Warner administration actively prevented Henry Cavill and his return to Superman. They prevented him from returning to the Superman role. They did not want him to play Superman. There's not a lot of other details than what he said there, but the new regime, very open to it, as you can see. And I think, like I said, the reason that, like, him being back in this movie is a big deal because that means he's probably signed a multi-movie contract. So that's kind of the latest with that. But anyway, there's an Ezra Miller update and a Warner and a Black Adam update. Let me know what your thoughts are. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Also, check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.